Hey everybody, welcome to the window box workshop. So today I'm going to be making new window boxes for the front of our house. The ones that we had on there are old, rotted, and they need to get replaced. So I'm going to try something a little bit different this year compared to what I did when I built the last set. And what I wanted to do this year was take two pieces of 1 by 12 pine and then meld them together so that they don't cup or bow, and I'm hoping that that's going to make it stronger. So that's how I'm going to build these boxes. The tools that you're going to need for this project are going to be a saw. Now I used a circular saw that was corded because I like the power with it, but any saw will do. You're going to need a screw gun, and then you're also going to need a drill as well, because you want to pre-drill any holes that you're putting screws into. That way your wood doesn't split. You're also going to need 2-inch deck screws, coated outdoor screws, and also 3-inch coated outdoor screws. A tape measure, and this is a super handy tool. This is called a square. So basically, once you mark the length of what you want your board to be, you can ensure that you're going to get a straight cut because you can mark a straight line with it. Alright, these window boxes that I'm going to be building are going to be 7 feet long by 12 inches deep by 12 inches wide. And I've already pre-cut all of the wood here. Now you can see I've got 2 pieces of 1 by 12 pine, and I've cut these down to 7 feet. And I actually marked on the top, I lined them both up, and I actually cut both boards at the same time. That way it saves a little bit of time. Because you're using 2 pieces of wood, you want to pick the piece that's going to be facing outwards. And you're going to then flip it over and do your drilling into the back, because you don't want those screws showing on the front face of your window box. So now what I want to do to fasten these boards together is I want to make sure they're lined up properly. Alright, so once you've got the boards lined up, and very importantly on one end, you want to make sure everything is lined up, because you're going to put screws in here. Now that's going to meld these 2 pieces of wood together, and I believe that that's going to cause it from cupping or bowing away from the house and splitting and cracking. I think it'll just give it some extra life. You can see here with the 2 pieces of wood, a lot of times they're, some of them are cupped the wrong way. Once I screw them together, it'll be one solid piece. So I'm going to drill holes where the screws are going to go, and then put the screws in, and then work my way down. So it's really important to pre-drill the holes before you put screws in, because when you're dealing with only a 3/4 inch piece thick of wood, if you're just putting screws in, you can split it, and then it's not going to fasten the wood as good. So if it's pre-drilled, that won't happen. So now I'm going to use the 2-inch coated deck screw, and that's what I'm going to fasten the pieces of wood with through the pre-drilled holes. So when it comes to screws, you're going to use a lot of them. If you use more than you think, that's okay. So with this 7-foot length here, I'm going to actually put in 15 screws. So I'm going to do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and it'll be nice and secure. The reason I did this, and I didn't just use a solid 2 by 12, is because when you get solid 2 by 12s with pine, they're going to warp, they're going to cup, they're going to bow. So this way, if I'm taking 2 thinner pieces and putting them together, it's just going to be more of a true and perfect board. And now everything is nice and secure. Here's the front of it, and it's not going to end up, when I say cupping and bowing, what I've noticed on our other window boxes in the front is that it ends up getting almost like a moon shape, because the wood wants to curl and cup with the weathering. So this is going to help prevent that. Okay, so now that I've got the front done, I've already done this for the back piece and then the sides. Now the bottom piece, we're just going to use one single 1x12. So now I'm going to go and grab the other pieces that I already pre-cut and screwed together, and we're actually going to make the box. Alright, so here's the back piece. This is the piece that's going to get mounted to the house. So the back and the front are going to be cut the exact same length. And then the sides will go in between, and then the bottom will also go in between. So those will be cut shorter. So this is the bottom piece here. The front. Now we just got to put the bring the sides in here. And then these are my my side pieces here, and where you can see the screws, that's going to be on the inside. The first thing we're going to do is attach one side. We've got the back here, so I'm going to line up the side, and you can see the side sits on the inside here. So we're going to line it up like that, and then again I'm going to pre-drill holes, and then I'm going to put 3-inch screws through there. That way we've got a nice distance with the screw in there. So when I'm putting the end on here, I want to make sure that it's square before I pre-drill and drill in. So I'll put my speed square down in there, and I'll make sure that it's square before I fasten it in there. So after I pre-drill one hole, I want to get one screw in there because right now I'm flush, I'm perfect here. I want to get that secured before I move on with the rest of them. There we go. The other thing you want to make sure is that the side's not sticking past the back or vice versa. You want it to be nice and smooth and flush. So then I'll make sure the top is, kind of pound that in a little bit. I'll pre-drill my hole there, I'll put a screw in, then I'll put one more in the middle, and we'll be all good there on the side. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. The next step is fastening the bottom to the back and the sides. So just like everywhere else, I'm going to pre-drill holes from the back through the piece in the bottom, because this is really crucial. If I'm putting a 3-inch screw through the back and it splits the bottom board, that bottom is holding all the weight. We want the screw to be nice and secure through the back and into the bottom piece. So again, I'm going to use the 3-inch coated deck screws because I want these to go through here and then deep enough into the bottom so that it can hold the bottom up over the years. I'm going to use 6 of these all the way across the back. That way it's extra secure. Alright, now that the back is all fastened to the bottom, I'm going to do the same thing on the sides, and I'm going to put 3 screws into the side. And first I'm going to pre-drill just like I have for all the other screws I'm putting in. Now I'm going to use the 3-inch coated deck screw and put these through the sides. So even though I feel like I've got the bottom secured in there really well, I know that over the years as this gets wet, wood can start to rot. So one thing I'm going to do to combat the bottom falling out a little bit earlier than it should is I'm going to go to the hardware store and I'm going to find a metal strap that's about this wide, about 3 inches, and it can fasten to both the bottom and the sides. So we can put that strap on there, screw it into the bottom and the sides, and that's going to be extra support so that over the years the bottom doesn't want to fall or rot out there. Alright, well the next thing to do to complete the box is to put the front on. But before I put the front on, it's easier to attach the box to the house without the front being on. If it's open like that, I can get my drill in there as opposed to working in a tight space, and it's a little bit lighter as well. Then after it's secured to the house, we can fasten the front onto the box. Alright, well now we're ready to put it on, and so I'll kind of tell you what I got going on here. If you've got 2 people, that would be good because somebody could hold it while you fasten it in. Now if it's just yourself, you got to kind of get creative, and for me I got this generator, some wood stacked up here, so then I can take the window box and set it on top of here. I don't have to hold it, and then I can fasten it in. And to fasten it in, all we're going to do, you can see with the white here, a couple little dabs of glue, and we'll stick it right up to the window, and that's it.
Elmer's.
A little bit of Elmer's, 5 dabs, stick it to it, and you're good to go.
Not even the wood glue, just the regular. Girls had some extra in their art box.
Yeah. So now I'm just going to shim it up, so now it's right up against the bottom of the window, and I know it's completely level that way. This window box is going to have a lot of weight in it, so I want to make sure that it is nice and secure. So I've got these leg bolts that I'm going to take, and I'm going to run these through the box into my backing here. Again, I'm going to pre-drill before I run those leg bolts in. Now everybody's exterior is going to be a little bit different. Where we're putting our window boxes, we've actually got like this 2-inch thick wood composite that wraps around the window. So that's really all the backing I need behind the window box. We've got another window box that's going to go up against stone. So for that, I'm going to drill holes in the stone, and they've got masonry leg bolts like this that you can fasten and run through. So depending on what your exterior is, you may need to do different things. For the leg screws, you have to actually use like a ratchet head for that, because there's, you know, not anything to stick a screwdriver in there. And then I'm going to put a washer on the outside of it as well. That way over time, this doesn't sink into the wood. It'll just help it secure it that much more. I'm going to put 5 of these in. I'm going to have 2 on each side, and then I'm going to put 1 in the middle. Then I'm going to take some longer screws, and I'm going to just zip a couple screws in throughout, just to make sure it's extra secure. All right, now it's time to put the face on. And we're going to put this on the same way we did all the other pieces. I'm going to pre-drill, and then we're going to screw in. So I'm going to pre-drill here. And then I'm going to put in 1 screw so that I can hold this into place and move on. Okay, now I'll get the other side. We're going to raise this up where it needs to be. And then I'm going to pre-drill. So for the front here, you can use 3-inch. I'm all out of those. I'm going to use 2.5. The front doesn't take on a lot of weight, so that'll be fine. All right, so now I'll just take and zip a couple more holes, screws in there, and then I'll do the same for the bottom here, and we'll be all done. All right, now I'm going to pre-drill my holes for fastening the face to the bottom board. That way that bottom piece is secured all the way around on all 4 sides. So the last step, aside from staining these, is to grab a big drill bit like this, and we are going to drill our holes into the bottom here. We want to make sure that when we water, we've got somewhere for the water to drain out of. So far I've got 10 holes, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now I'm going to put 1 between each set here. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So 14 total for a box this size. Putting the holes in there is probably one of the most important things, because you've got to have proper drainage. If this were just a box with no holes, the water would sit in there and you would have big issues with your plants. All right, well, now we'll stain it, plant it up, and that'll be it. And this is what they look like after we stain them. Thank you guys so much for checking out this DIY build your own window box video. I know this has been a a highly sought after video. So hope this helps answer your questions and gives you the motivation to go out and do your own. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe and click that little bell for notifications so you can get notified on all our new videos.